How's it going, everyone, and welcome to a quick video about YouTube staff and demonetization. Well, confused YouTube staff, at least. And I want to say, before I get into this, I don't blame the staff at all. I blame this new policy that YouTube's put in place, and I can almost guarantee that the people who are reviewing these videos, the staff that's been employed to deal with this, they're probably peed about it too, because it's got to be a hell of a job. You imagine the amount of stuff that gets uploaded to YouTube every day. But the problem is here, well, I'll try and explain what's actually going on. YouTube's implied this new system where it has this sort of bot thing that scans your videos as they go up to YouTube for stuff in the tags, stuff in the thumbnail, stuff in the description, stuff in the title that may be offensive, and then it flags it for not suitable for all advertisers. And what that means is you have to ask YouTube to manually review your video and say whether it's okay or not. Which, you know, it sounds like a plausible system, but the problem is there's that much content that it doesn't always make sense. And I myself upload quite a bit of content to YouTube, as you know, and I've been reviewing a lot of that. Like recently, I've been putting a lot of my stuff up for review because I play games like The Evil Within 2, because it's got evil in the title. YouTube sees that as the kind of thing that they'll instantly flag for demonetization, therefore I'll have to get it reviewed. Now, for the most part, these videos come back as fine and suitable for all advertisers, as I'm pretty much sure most of my content should, because I don't really do suggestive content. I make Let's Plays. You know, I've done that for years. It's kind of what I've always done. I can understand it if maybe it's a violent game, there's excessive violence in the game, and YouTube doesn't like that, whatever. I get it. But I've been trying to experiment with my own content to see exactly what does get through and what doesn't. And it seems like it's not a policy. It comes down to an individual. A person is sitting in front of your content and reviewing it. And it doesn't come down to them sat in front of a list of stuff that they're looking for that your video should or shouldn't have. It comes down to that person's personal opinion. You want to know how I know this? I'm going to tell you. A few days ago, or well, the video went up permanently yesterday, but I think it was actually maybe 3 days ago. I uploaded an Evil Within video, and it was majorly out of sync. I mean, like, the gameplay was like 3 seconds behind the audio, so I had to re-edit it, but I didn't notice until I'd uploaded the video. And as soon as I put that video up, again, because it's got The Evil Within in the title, it gets flagged for demonetization, which is fine, whatever. I understand it's a violent video game. So I had to put it up for review, and I put it up for review, and then it came back saying, I'll show you the email actually. This is the first time I uploaded the video. After manually reviewing your video, we've confirmed that it isn't suitable for all advertisers. As a result, it will continue to run limited or no ads. Now, The Evil Within 2 walkthrough part 14, this man's not hot, whatever. So, decision made by YouTube. But shortly after that, anyway, like I said, I noticed it was well out of sync. I had to delete it and re-upload it. Sorry if you got 2 notifications about that video. But again, the video got flagged for demonetization because it's basically the same video, so I had to put it up for review again. I could have just left it at that point, and it probably would have stayed unlimited or no ads, because I was sure that this video was going to come back again permanently not suitable for all advertisers. But after the review, look what happened. The only thing that's happened here is I've changed the title around to say This Man's Not Hot, The Evil Within 2. This didn't affect anything because instantly it still got flagged for demonetization, so it didn't change it. That isn't me trying to get around the system or anything. But look, great news. After manually reviewing your video, we've determined that it's suitable for all advertisers. So we need a little bit of clarity here. What exactly is it we can and can't do? I don't really think there's a policy there. It literally comes down to the person. So you could have someone who reviews your content that just doesn't like you. You know what I mean? Doesn't think you're entertaining, doesn't think you're funny, and hears you swear once, and they're like, not suitable, straight away. That isn't fair, okay? Like, you kind of need to either get really serious about this to the point where it's like you can say to your staff, this is okay, this isn't okay, you know? Also, I've been with a network for a good few years. You would think that sort of bodes well for me. Like, YouTube knows I'm a valid creator and I'm not putting up ISIS videos, you know, and trying to run ads against it. That isn't us, which is really the kind of stuff they should be going on like after. And I know that other people are suffering from this as well. And I was thinking about the bigger YouTubers. For me, it's probably a bit more confusing because I'm a smaller guy. No one, like the YouTube reviewers probably don't know who I am. Whereas if you think about someone big, like PewDiePie, or Markiplier, or someone like that, all it takes is for the reviewer to generally not like that person, you know? Like I don't like this guy's content, bam, no ads. And then you could have the same person like, oh, I love Markiplier or Jacksepticeye. They're fine to advertise on their videos. That is what this is coming down to, which is incredibly unfair. Because if you've got some videos getting through with ease, no problem, but they're still like violent video games, and then you've got other content not making it through that's pretty much the same content, it's very unclear to us what we can and can't do. And I saw a video that H3H3 put up recently, basically saying he's seen videos from other creators that have got like a lot of swearing and sexually suggestive content, a lot of all this stuff, but it makes it through to all advertisers, and you'll see like a family advertisement before the video plays. But then someone else puts up a video where they swear a couple of times throughout the video. All of a sudden that video is non-advertiser friendly, and it gets reviewed, and they're like, no, it could come down to you making like a video with some comedic value, but the person who's watching it doesn't think you're being funny. They're like, oh, this guy's an idiot, demonetized. This isn't fair. And it's a bit of a joke. I think YouTube actually needs to sit down with their staff and say, yo, this isn't okay. This is okay. You know, if you find a terrorist sitting there talking about ISIS, demonetize that shit. You know, not this guy's playing a video game and he reacts a little bit like fuck or something. That's not advertiser friendly. Like, the odds are, if I'm playing a violent video game, there are certain ads that would probably be applicable to run before that, like maybe an advert for another video game. Simple. Targeted ads. I know it's very difficult for YouTube to run because there's a shitload of content that gets uploaded, and I also respect that the job there for the reviewers must be huge. Like, you can imagine the amount of stuff that gets uploaded to YouTube every day that gets flagged. Think about just the people you know that have complained about this. And then you also think after that, this is affecting pretty much every single creator on the website. There's a mountain of content there. But it seems like when we're told to abide by a policy, but really we're having to abide someone's personal opinion, this is where it becomes unfair. Because it could not be that. It could not be that someone doesn't like this person's content but likes that person's content. It could just mean that they have a different understanding from the other reviewers of the policy that they've brought forward recently. It could also be that some reviewers are watching 30 seconds of a video saying it's okay, moving on to the next one, whereas another person may watch it all the way through. Like, you're paying people to do this, YouTube. You're paying people to review our content. You need to make sure they're doing it correctly. Like, you guys earn salaries. Our earnings, on YouTube at least, are dictated by the advertisements we have play on our videos. By messing with this stuff, you're literally messing with people's livelihood. I'm quite lucky in the sense that I've got a lot of videos. My money has been affected, but not too much. Not a huge amount. Whereas other people have been hit so hard that it's crippled them. I wouldn't be surprised if some people have literally been made homeless off this. And it's starting to drive me crazy seeing this really questionable kid content all over the place. And I'm seeing big YouTubers. I'm going to make a separate video about this soon. I'm not going to talk about it too much now. This sort of content that makes it through your algorithms probably doesn't even get flagged just because it has Frozen, Elsa and Spider-Man in the title. You need to start going after these people because they're making some seriously inappropriate content. I'm going to show some clips in another video about this stuff. And try and explain it a little better to you, I suppose, and just show you what I think is weird and inappropriate on YouTube. And if I'm playing a violent video game, I'll generally use a little more profanity. That's a guideline I've always followed, because I always think if someone's sitting there watching me play something violent, like, you know, a lot of the games I play are kind of like that. They're prepared. You know what I mean? They know what they're buying into. I'm pretty sure everyone on YouTube, when they flip over to that side of YouTube and they're not watching child videos, which no one over the age of 10 is watching fucking Peppa Pig more than likely, they're prepared for a little bit of swearing, you know? We're not children. Not everybody on this site is a kiddie. And even the kiddie content on YouTube is getting very questionable, and I'm almost going to guarantee that you guys aren't demonetizing this content. I've actually seen a couple of videos around recently from parents who are very, very concerned. I just wanted to put out there, you're trying to put out family advertiser friendly content. I know I've got plenty of viewers with families who watch my content. One of my close friends on this site, someone I met through the site, not a creator, just a YouTube viewer. Her name's Rachel. What's up, Rachel? She's got a family and she loves my content. Her family loves my content. They don't care that I swear. They don't. You know what I mean? I know obviously opinions differ from family to family. I would never advocate someone putting me in front of their, 5-year-old and saying, watch this guy's content. I wouldn't do that. But the odds are, if I'm playing The Evil Within 2, 5-year-olds shouldn't be looking at it. You know what I mean? Like, that's a no-brainer. But it is driving creators crazy. How are we supposed to follow a guideline if the people that are enforcing it aren't following it themselves? And you're questioning our content, which is who we are. We're putting who we are into a video and putting it on YouTube. And then you've got these people, these scumbag potential pedophiles, making videos that are really, really weird and almost creepy, right? And these guys are making hundreds of thousands of dollars off your website. Should you be questioning big people like PewDiePie, Markiplier, H3H3, Jacksepticeye, and whoever else? Or should you be taking a look at what is actually questionable? Or do you only care, do you leave that content alone because you know how massively profitable it is and you earn 45% of the revenue? In supporting that content, you're literally making money off letting kids watch creepy stuff. Literally. Now, if a kid, say, comes over to my channel, I know I have young kids that watch my channel. I've spoke to a few of them on stream. They're all nice kids. I try to keep it pretty friendly with them just to be nice. I never say to them, you shouldn't be watching this content. But the odds are, if someone, let's say a teenager between the ages of like 13 and 16 comes over to watch my The Evil Within 2 walkthrough, they know what they're getting into, Kids aren't stupid. Like, wake up, YouTube. It's like, why else would you be doing this? I mean, I know you're trying to protect your ass with the advertisers. And the advertisers are the one who make you your money, and they're the ones who have probably stepped forward and been like, oh my god, this video is running against an ISIS, it's got a fucking ISIS video with an advertisement behind it. Oh my god, how many videos make it through? Should you have screwed all of us over and put the power into personal individual reviewers' hands, not enforced an actual policy and just said to these people, do what you feel? Because that's what's happening. Should you have done that? No. Should you be questioning the people who have made your site great? Should you be taking away from them? No, because what's going to happen is they won't make as good a content. They won't be able to because they're too scared to get demonetized and lose shitloads of their revenue. It is a bit of a joke, and you guys need to do something about this. You need to, I think, whitelist more people would probably be a good idea. I tell you now, I'm never going to put up a video where I've got my dick out. I'm not going to. I'm not going to join ISIS and start trying to monetize that content. That's where this has come from. When the advertisers turned around to you and said, we're not happy with our advertisements running on this content, you know what you should have said? Bye. That's it. Get off our website. The YouTubers would have rather lose a little bit of money, right, and lose a few advertisers for a while than have this whole hot mess. They really would have. Google and YouTube are the two biggest websites on the internet. How are they can advertise in other places, obviously, but they know that Google and YouTube are the most powerful. And what will happen over time anyway is you'll have these people trying to get their content, their advertisements played against only advertiser-friendly content. It'll appear in the wrong places again because you've got people who are reviewing the content differently. So you could have a video that an advertiser would think, oh, this video is not suitable for my advertisement to play against it. But then you've got two different reviewers. One of them would say it's okay and one of them wouldn't. So YouTube's going to mess up again. And I guarantee it's the same thing that's happening with other people. I honestly think bigger creators will be under more scrutiny here. But also, like, if you've got someone who dislikes a certain YouTuber reviewing their content, it's not an unbiased system. It's a pretty biased system, if you ask me. It seems like some of your reviewers are going after any video that has any profanity in it at all. Other times it seems like some of the reviewers are okay with a little bit of profanity. This is a joke, and you need to do something before your website goes down the toilet in that sense. The reason so many people make so much content, and the reason they're able to, is because they can make money with the site. When you take that away, whatever way you look at it, for someone walking away from the site, again, personally, I don't think this is going to happen with me, because I've never really made fucking millions off YouTube. I never have. So my money hasn't really changed a fat lot. But if you're taking, like, say 70% of someone's revenue, that person's going to be less inclined to try and make content if they're making no money with it. And I can see how that might be a good thing in certain senses, because there are some people who are making videos for the wrong reasons, like we've just discussed. It may push people like that away from the site, who are exploiting the system just to make money. They don't care about your website. They don't care about the kids. They don't care about the fans. Just this. Those people, I'm hoping some of them will go away, because it's not just a money-making scheme anymore. Personally, I started YouTubing because I love making videos. I've been around YouTube for a long time. I've been making videos in the same style for about 6 years. When I first started doing it, I wasn't earning any money. Me and a friend used to work on another channel as well. We didn't earn anything from that. We just used to do it for the fun of it. And that's how, one day, don't get me wrong, I did find out, I was like, wow, you can make some money with YouTube. I should try and, like, throw myself at this a little bit and see what I can do. And then, like, I know it's the same story for a lot of creators. You start to see it catch, and you think to yourself, you know, if I throw myself at this full time, I can make a living off it. And there are people who hate that, you know what I mean? There are people who are like, oh, you shouldn't be able to make money with YouTube, but I'll use ad block because fuck the advertisements. You know, I kind of think that, in my personal opinion of that sort of stuff, is like, if you want to show support to the creators on YouTube, don't use ad block. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they get paid for what they do. That's how they are able to make that content that you like sitting in front of and watching. Some people are like, oh, there shouldn't be any advertisements on YouTube, should never have been a thing. Well, do you think, I'm going to fall back on a video that Boogie 2899 whatever made last year, very cool guy, by the way. Do you think any of those people would be here if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for the advertisements? Do you think PewDiePie would make daily videos? Do you think Markiplier would make recent videos? Jacksepticeye? Any of those guys would make the content they do today without those advertisements. They wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able to put as much time into it, you know what I mean? So the reason you've got so much really good content on YouTube is because of the advertisements. Start taking that away, you're going to lose them, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's a damn shame YouTube's going down this route. Really, I hope next year things improve and things get better for everyone. But what YouTube really needs to do is crack down on getting their staff updated on this stuff as to what is okay and what isn't. It's apparent to me. I show you those emails again. Same bloody video, exactly the same video. One person said yes, one person said no. How am I supposed to follow a guideline? Do you know, how am I supposed to know, so this is or isn't okay? I've got no, if you demonetize the content, like, I'm not going to cry about it, but if I upload a video and it gets demonetized, I know I shouldn't be making that kind of content, you know? How am I supposed to know? Like, it's the same with my other, all it will come down to again is people will learn how to exploit the system. You know, people will know the right time to set a reviewer where they might get some friendly reviewers. I've noticed a trait in this as well. If you review something at a certain time, it's more likely to come back as okay. And I'm not trying to pick a fight with the reviewers and be mean to them, because they've been given such a big task recently with this stuff, and I feel sorry for them, because it's like it must be never ending. You know what I mean? The amount of videos you have to go through. I feel, if you're watching this YouTube reviewer, I feel sorry for you, man. I really do. It must be a horrible job to be going through that stuff. But I think what you need to relay back to YouTube is to get this stuff in shape a little better. And it's sad. It really is. I can understand you taking monetization away from people for having certain things in their title. Let's say I had potential rape in my title. Demonetize that. Someone talking about war, because I've got say my Call of Duty World War II playthrough that we did last month, that the first part of that, all of the other parts of that playthrough, monetized, every single one. 2 through 11, they're all fine. My part 1, demonetized, still demonetized. I requested it for review when the day I uploaded it, still sitting there demonetized. How am I supposed to get that content reviewed? I have no way of like saying to you, can you please review my content, other than I already have, but you ignore it half the time. So like, there's so much confusion here. So as well, you put a notification on below where you request the review saying that, I'll quickly show you guys actually. Let me show you one of the videos. I know a lot of you aren't YouTubers, so you won't know about this stuff. Let me get one of these videos up. Okay, so here's the COD walkthrough. A couple of thousand views. Limited or no ads due to content identified as not suitable for most advertisers. Review, and this is probably because it's got WW2 in the title, or World War II. That's probably why it's been flagged. If I didn't have that in the title, probably would have got through. Again, I could have done that, but I like to be legit. You know what I mean? I like to put my stuff up and let the bot do its thing. I don't want to try and like get around the system. I actually want to know what I can and can't do. And it's very difficult to determine that. But anyway, review requested. Right now, we're only able to review videos with at least 1,000 views in the past 7 days. We'll review your video once it reaches that threshold. Now, this is dumb, okay? Because there are some videos that are very old and get no views now. But I'd still like to have them fully monetizable. Also, my new videos, you're talking I can upload a new video, it could be at 100 views and it'll get reviewed. And I'm like, doesn't it have to have 1,000 views? Again, confusing. I don't know what I can and can't do. And I know a lot of other YouTubers are in the same boat. Problem with this stuff is as well, you communicate with us so poorly. Please start a blog. Also, whoever is creating the CEO of YouTube's videos, just stop. Just stop. The whole community is angry at that woman. I think there's petitions floating around to get her fired. And I'm not, whatever, I'm not going to go into that. Maybe we'll do another video about it at some point. But since she's taken, well, no, you know what, I'll say this and I'm about to end the video. You can tell that the CEO of YouTube has never actually had to create a video in her life. She sat in front of a camera, recorded it, and you can tell someone else did all the work. How is the CEO of this company someone who doesn't know how to create content? That's my assumption. I don't know that for a fact. For all I know, she's an editing pro and she did it all herself, but I doubt it. You know, hire someone who knows what they're on about and cares about the website and not just about the size of their wallet. I know it's a business, but you have to acknowledge the people who made your business so successful and stop screwing them. I know there's people who've already turned their back on the platform because of it going until it gets better. Some people have said they'll be back if it ever changes or whatever. But it's depressing, man. I don't want to see it get any worse. You keep making changes that are just terrible. Terrible business moves. Horrific. All this stands to do is lose you more money. If advertisers approach you again and they say, we're not happy with the content that's on your website, bye. Show them the door. You're a powerful internet entity. Okay? A force to be reckoned with. Not advertisers bitches. You know? They were like, oh, we're not happy with this content. And you bent over and lubed up so fast for the advertisers. Go to town, advertisers. We will take it. Who's the people who loses money? The creators. We're the people that get screwed by it. And also, I am gonna make a separate video talking about this sort of stuff, but I'll quickly add it in at the end here, and I'm gonna go. When YouTube takes 45% of everybody's money, and most people don't even know that, right? They don't. How easy do you think it would be for them to increase that percentage and take more of our money for the rest of the year so that they wouldn't post losses on the couple of last quarters of 2017? Very easy. Very, very easy. They could easily slide an extra 30% so that their profits were higher from the $450 million loss the adpocalypse caused. Yeah, it's pretty obvious what you're doing to anyone who has half a brain cell and actually knows about YouTube. Again, the average person doesn't really know the ins and outs of this stuff just because they're not involved with it. Like, I'm not nothing against anyone for that. I'm just saying it's the way it is. YouTube's communication is terrible. Like, it's hard for a creator to understand this stuff. I can understand why a general member of the public or just a viewer would have no idea. But anyway, I wanted to get that off my chest, put that out there. Hopefully someone sees this who can forward it somewhere, man. Much love. Until next time, take it easy.
As a gangster affair. Trust me. I may have lied to you.